All right, slide 18, visual representation in mind. So on the diagram, you see eyeballs with lines coming out of them, hitting an object and bouncing back into the eyes, and then this kind of visual cortex, which takes the signals back in and processes them. You see the similar kind of thing happening with the sense of smell around the nose and near the lips. Same thing going on with the ears. That's on the left side of the drawing. On the right side, you have a picture of a human being with eyeballs and a brain, and light is bouncing off of a cat, touching the eye, and causing an image in the mind, which the mind projects onto the source of the signal and perceives as a cat. So this is just a kind of development, a kind of diagram, a model of the mechanisms of perception, and how really whatever's going on that's stimulating our senses is outside of the mind. It's information coming in, it's being processed by the mind, which projects onto the source of the signal images that the way the mind interprets that data, and it's as if we see yellow colored lemons or cats or whatever, but we can't really get outside of our minds to see whether or not the image in our mind of the lemon or the cat is actually the same outside our mind as what's going on inside our mind, right? But we experience the world as if the lemon is yellow, whereas the cat looks the way that it does. But that's just a function of all the different things that can get in through the nets. Like we think about a fishing net, right? If the spaces between, the threads are a certain size, let's say that the holes in the net are this big, then a fish bigger than that won't be caught, right? A fish smaller than that will go right through it, right? Oh, actually, no. A fish bigger than that, well, if this is the whole net, right, with these little things in it, a fish larger than this won't even get in the net, and fish smaller than the netting will go right through the net. So the net can only pick up fish of a certain size, not too big, not too small. It fits in the net, doesn't go through the net, can be caught in the net. And our eyes and our ears are like nets in that regard. They can only pick up certain frequencies within a certain range. And then our brains reconstruct images that are used to interpret the signals coming in, and our brains project them like in the drawing. The brain projects onto the source of the signal yellow lemon or cat or whatever it is, right? So we're picking up on a certain features of the world outside of our minds, but they're being presented in our minds as if that's the way the thing is outside of our mind, but we don't really know that. We only know that that's how we're detecting it. So we call this in philosophy the appearance-reality gap. Things appear to us to be a certain way, but are they exactly that way in reality? Well, lemons appear to be yellow, but they're really not yellow. And things appear to us as sounds, but they really don't have a sound, right? So this is the key puzzle in metaphysics. Is the world outside of our cognitive equipment anything like what it looks like from within our cognitive equipment? In other words, is reality and the appearance of reality in our mind the same? Or is there a gap between the way things appear to be and the way that they actually are? Now, we already said we're not looking through windows over here and seeing the world as it is, so automatically there's an appearance-reality gap. Welcome to the world of philosophy. Sorry, it gets complicated and it gets worse. The deeper you go down the rabbit hole, the more freaky it gets.